All right, everybody, welcome back to my animal house. We're out here in the garage, and we haven't done a project out here in quite a while, so it's about time, and it's getting cold outside. So I got a video right now that's getting a little bit of attention. It's about 13,000 views. I built a Swirl filter for ponds and stuff out of a 5-gallon bucket. It's a really cheap build. It's a really good filter. So I got a lot of questions in the comment about how do I hook it up to the filter itself, to the pump down in the pond itself that's sucking up the water. You know, how am I hooking all that kind of stuff up? How do I clean out the filter if it gets clogged up or whatnot? So we'll go through how I flush it out and go through the media inside and get it cleaned out and show you how everything kind of works and go over that, and hopefully I can answer a lot of questions all at one time. So here we go. I'll go outside and get that filter, and hopefully you enjoy this video, and I hope it's very helpful for anybody who's already watched the video. And if you have, thank you so much. This video is doing so cool or so good. It's just it's unbelievable. It just humbles me as a YouTuber, and I hope you enjoy this video as much as that. All right, everybody, we're here at the pond where I built that filter. This is the Swirl biofilter that I built a few months back. I think it was in March. The video is doing really well. It's well over 12,000 views right now, and I keep getting a lot of questions on a couple different things. So I thought about it's time for me, because I haven't done nothing with this filter the entire summer. From the time that I put it in until this moment, the only thing that I've done to this pond right here, the small pond, is water changes. I've done about 25% water change every week or so, and then that was it. So I wanted to see there's probably 6 or 8 little fish in there. There's a little bit bigger goldfish or smaller goldfish. I just kind of wanted to see what this filter would do, just kind of untouched. I haven't flushed it, haven't cleaned it, nothing. And fish are doing pretty good. Let me see if I can get a little closer. All right, we got some of the goldfish down there, tons of algae. There's a little bit of stuff on the water because it's really windy today. It's kind of mellowed out for a moment here, so I figured I'd do this film. But I just kind of wanted to get the gist of this filter. I want to take it apart. I've had some questions on how I hook it up to the pump. I'm going to address that. I'm going to go over how I take it apart and clean the filters inside, the filter media, all the sponges and stuff, and throw it back together again, and this pond will be ready to go for a while longer. So I just want to do this to touch basis. It's kind of hard to answer all the different questions through the comments, and you know, trying to explain everything in the way that I do it. So I just thought it'd be a lot easier if I did this and just showed you everything. I've had people ask, how do I clean out the bottom? There's a flush out right there. I've had a lot of questions, so I'm just going to try to address them all in this video. So hope you enjoy. We'll get this video out. I'm going to flush out the bottom part first, and I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll take it in the garage and I'll take it apart because it's a little chilly out here. So yeah, here we go. And this is about how much water I've kept in it the whole time. It's probably a couple 100 gallons, maybe 150 gallons of water that's been pumping continuously since March, like I said. So this filter's held up. It's not swolled up like it's full or anything. So it's done really good with this amount of goldfish. I wanted to do this experiment because, you know, like if you went to Lowe's or something like that and you got one of them pre-formed the ponds that you put in the ground, this filter would run any one of those preforms. Anything couple 100 gallons, it'll keep you pretty much the entire summer maintenance free. You can tuck it off into the corner, pipe it in over to your pond. You wouldn't even have to see it. It'd be a great filter for a tiny pond like that. And these fish are plump and happy. There's a lot of algae in there, but that's just kind of the way it goes. I just wanted to see what this pond would do without me messing with it all, other than water changes and feeding the fish, of course. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, basically on this flush out, from about right here down is that basket that holds up all the media. There's a little bit around the top of that basket on the outside of it, but for the most part, all your hard solids will build up in here. So basically, when you do it, just kind of open up this valve, and you'll get the muck. And is what I do to help this process along. I grab the old hose on the old spray, and I'll spray it into the top of here. Yeah, it'll amplify it, and how the water's darker. The faster the water, it'll help loosen up the solids on the inside. All right, after I do that for a little bit, I kind of let it drain, and then I want to backflow it through this way, and I'll have the water come up the front. It's so crazy, the gunk that'll come out that way. So here, give me a second. All right, everybody, so now I'm going to flush it out backwards. Basically, this will knock loose all kinds of junk going both directions. And this is usually what I do a couple times in between the week. Well, not the week, but a couple times a month just to get out the muck. But this summer I didn't. I just wanted to see how much it would build up, how long it would last before. Oh yeah, look at that gunk. And then is what I'll do is I'll go back on top of here and flush it back the other way. Loosen up some more stuff. Alright, so that's usually what I do to flush it up. You just kind of let it drain out now and then just re-shut off your valve and then you could hook it back up. But me, I'm going to actually show you how to take it apart. So now we're going to bring it in the garage and I'm going to take it all apart and we're going to wash out the media. Alright everybody, that's how I flush the muck. I flush it out both directions where it helps loosen out everything that's in the bottom. And there wasn't a very big fish that were in there, so we didn't get as thick of muck as if it would have been the koi or something in there. But it's only a couple 100 gallons, so this filter worked out perfect. So now, flushing it both ways, when you get done, make sure to just shut back off your valve. And I'm gonna keep it open because I'm gonna let it drain out really good because I'm gonna take it in the garage, take it apart for you guys, show you how I clean the inside and what's going on in there, and see what kind of little creatures we have living. All right, which we do. Now let me see. Now see that little, let me see if I can get it in there. See that little worm? If you get those in your filter, let me see if I can get it to move. There we go. See that red worm in there? If you can get those in your filter, yeah, that's not poop and it will move. If you can get those in your filter, you're doing something right, because those only grow if you got good bacteria growing in your filter. And then if they do make it out of your filter into the pond, all it is a beautiful treat for your fish. So we got something going on, right? Alright, take this in the garage, we get to finishing it up. Alright everybody, here's the filter right here. Everything's all 1/2 inch, the piping that I use. I mean, if you want to change the sizing because of the pump size and all that kind of thing, that's all up to you. But everything's all 1/2 inch elbows and straight pieces and the straight connects. And just wherever you need to go, you can get 45s, all kinds of different angles and pieces of this to get it to weave through your pond, to get as close as you can to the liner to make it look good, or however you want to do it, it's up to you. But this is basically, mine just connects right into here once it's in the water. This is the one that's in the water. But I kind of wanted to go over how I hook this part up, the bottom of the filter, to the PVC. There's a couple different ways you can probably go about it, but I'm going to show you how I do it and a suggestion for another way. So I'll get the camera zoomed in a little lower here and we'll get to that. Alright, here we go. When I bought this pump right here, I can't remember the size of it. If I can get the size of it, I'll put it down in the description of the actual pump size that I used. But it came with these 3 adapters, which is the key. And they got 3 different sizes, and they're ribbed right there to where if they slide into something, it spreads out. To where if you slide a hose over it or something, it secures it pretty good, and then you can use hose clamps like these ones if you want. But the way that I did it, and yeah, and like this one right here, you could probably, you know, put these 2 together with a hose clamp here and a hose clamp here, and there'd be no problem. If you get I think it's the stainless steel ones that don't rust. So, which is all good, but the way I do it, I use the middle size, I think it is. I use this one, and I take a router. With this, I just use whatever stone or sanding deal, and I just kind of sanded out the inside a little bit, just to where this will just barely slide in there. And then as soon as it slides in there like that, I just kind of smack it on the ground or on there, and it just kind of cinches it up. I mean, it doesn't have to be like 1000%, you know, watertight or anything, or 100%, but because it's in the water, and it's not gonna, you know, when it flares out and you push it in there like that, it's not gonna leak anywhere anyway, and then it connects it just like this one over here on this pump, and it works out perfectly fine for me, and then I don't have to have any of the hose clamps or anything in the water. It's all just connected right to it, and then it's PVC. From then on, moving it wherever you need to go is endless. So that's kind of how I hook up both of these, and then we'll get to opening up this filter and get to that. All right, everybody, these things are sealed, so you got to pop this tab on the side of your lid if you use the pressurized lids like I did. So you just kind of break that, and you just pull this little ring around. And you can reuse these lids technically. They will snap back on there, but without this ring on it, they won't be as secure and as, I guess, more pressure resistant without it. And let me just slide this on. And bang, those are all the rocks that are inside that I put in there to weight it down. And I did have a suggestion today. And you can see there's like cobwebs up here. This right here, without me, if I wouldn't have flushed it, this doesn't get as much water as, I mean, the water level is not too bad, as you can see. I could have used different, but I did use, a guy said today to use lava rocks would probably hold it down, and it would give it a little bit, a lot more surface for good algae to grow. So I may look into that. I don't know if I'll pack this one with it, but the next one that I try, I will definitely try some lava rocks. That was a really cool idea. This was just kind of my first, not first, but my experiments as they've gone along. This is where I've been, and I'm more than willing to change it, so I am going to look into that. So I'm going to get rid of these rocks, and then we'll get to the other part, because if it doesn't really get too plugged up, the water level only gets, you know, so high because of the spigot in here. So a lot of this space doesn't even really get water a lot of the time. So let me get these rocks out of here, and then we'll continue. Alright, so then we get into this part. This is my little blockage for the rocks to get through there. And lava rocks, we wouldn't have to use, so I could make the holes bigger on here for water flow, but I think it works pretty good. This was my little screen to help it hold everything down. And you can see all the mucking on here. A lot of this, there's a lot of good bacteria in here. That's what helps, you know, filter your water, is a lot of the bacteria that are in these sponges. So I'm going to get all these out. I'll time-lapse all this because I don't want to bore you with all this, because you've already seen this part as far as packing them in. But I just kind of will talk about how to clean these after a minute as soon as I get to the next layer. Alright, everybody, see, now we're down to the sponges that I use. See, these are full of muck. But there's a lot of good bacteria, so you don't want to spray these out too much. I'm going to show you how to clean these once I get these all out. Alright, we got all those sponges out of there. There's still a few in here. And I did ask somebody that commented on the something about the muck on the bottom, about not being able to get, because of these sponges not being able to get released, I guess, when you flush it. But these, there's only one little layer of these, and they're nasty too. They get a lot of muck. But the layer on the bottom there, here, let me get all this out of here. See, when I rinse it out, there's no more muck on this side than there is that side. When I pull this out, there's a big hole right here. Let me see, yeah, there's a big hole, and I got holes all the way around. So when you're flushing water through it, it flushes it out pretty good. So this whole area here in the bottom, and it's pretty clean now because I flushed it out before we did this video. So it cleans out rather well. It's not bad. Alright, let me move this bucket. See, you just basically clean all this out, and then you just get ready to repack it again. The old flush out on the bottom cleans out all the muck. It cleans it out pretty good. Now, of course, this is our little swirl filter doohickey in here, and that's where all the major muck is, right here. If I would have flushed it out a little bit better, it would have done a little bit more, but that's the layer of where it's going to be the thickest anyway. So hopefully this breaks down the filter on how it works anyway, and I'll show you how to clean the filters here in a second, or the media. All right, everybody, and this water right here, when you go to clean these, the best thing you can do for them is you just basically just want to rinse them off, and rinse them off in some pond water. If you just use chlorinated house water or whatever, it just kind of kills all the bacteria. See, I would use like 2 buckets and just use this first one to get out all the good muck. Just kind of give it a rinse. Don't like wash it too much, and then you could probably dunk it one more time in a little bit cleaner water. But just kind of get it clean. You don't want these all the way clean, because when you repack this filter, you want all them good bacteria to already be there and already working, so you don't have to wait for them to build back up again. The same thing with these. You just kind of, these are a little bit more. You just kind of rub them together and get all the thick top muck off of there, because the insides and all that, there's all kinds of good bacteria. So just kind of rinse them off. And then just repack your filter. Don't get all crazy with cleaning them if you want, you know, your filter to keep continuing to work like it was before, because all this bacteria in here, the good algae and bacteria it's growing is good for your filter, and it needs to be there. So you don't want to wash out too much of it, or it's just like a brand new filter. Again, you got to wait for it to season up before it starts working real well. So hopefully these tips and tricks work, and that's how I rinse them out. And I would just use another thing of pond water and just maybe give them one more rinse to get the thick muck, but that's it, you know, because it's thick right now. You just kind of rub it together a little bit, just kind of knock off some of that bigger stuff. Bang. Any of the media that you use, just leave a little gunk on there to help your filter. All right, there we go. Hope this video pack it up, and I would use you know, just go through this backwards, but all the filter just like the other video shows on how to put it together. But when you repack it, again, you can use that same lid if you want to, but I would suggest just getting a new lid. They're a couple bucks, like $2.50 or something, and put a new hole in it, and then you have that seal on the top to where it doesn't pop off. And you know, if it did get too full of muck, it's more security to where it's not overflowing and flooding anywhere. So that's my update on this filter, and I hope this filter helps all the questions in the comments. All right, thanks for watching. All right, everybody, that's my filter. Hopefully this video helped you get through building your filter, or any of my ideas in this filter help you build yours. And remember, there's an Instagram link down in the description here that you can hit me up on Instagram, and we can send pictures back and forth. Like if you need a question on something and I need to get a little closer view of it, I can take a picture, explain what I got going on and how I do it. So that'll be very helpful if you are building this filter, and I will help you out. I'll try to help as many people as I can out anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I just want to say from all of us here at My Animal House, take care and stay wild.